Awesome.
Let's introduce Leo and Lex. So obviously of Newbury Park, if you've watched any kind of distance running, you know who these two are. Stanford University signees, three-time national cross-country champions, and the authors of many national level performances. There isn't a lot that these guys haven't done, whether it's been cross-country or track and field. And this weekend, Lex is going to go with his teammates to Boston to compete at New Balance Nationals Indoor. He's entered in the 5K. Leo's coming off a World U20 bronze medal in cross country and a ridiculous 340 for 1500, which is the fifth fastest at the distance ever. It converts down to 358 for the mile. So let's start with this, guys. How are y'all doing? Leo, let's start with you. How are you?
I'm doing really well, just trying to get through another school day. But yeah, I'm having a good time, looking forward to some good training.
Lex?
Oh yeah, same as Leo, just trying to get in some solid training, but also looking forward to a pretty exciting race on Saturday.
I know we can't. We can't, we're looking forward to this like 100%. Leo, I want to start with you. Obviously, you're the most recent performance here. 1500 meters at the 10 this weekend. You ran 340.86, fifth all time outdoors. Can you talk to us a little bit about what was your plan and approach, and how did you execute on that day?
I mean, there really wasn't much of a plan or approach because the thing is like it's a professional race. So like I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was going to be fast and I wasn't sure exactly where I fell within like the field of talent. So the whole, I guess the plan that we had was just like kind of go out there, hang out in the middle of the pack and try to stay as relaxed as possible and then just gauge how you're feeling based on that. And a lap to go, I was just like, oh man, I got to get moving. So then I felt pretty good. So I was like, oh, let's just have some fun with it. And I really just started going for it. And it turned out to be a really good race.
I'm curious, one follow up to that. You're coming off cross country where, obviously you're training for, 8K and a longer distance. I mean, was there any sort of impact on the legs kind of turning back into track or no?
Um, well, that's exactly why we weren't so sure what to expect was because I was coming off 8K training. So I'd really only had, I think, 2 weeks in between this race that I just did on Saturday and the 8K that I did in Australia to like change over into track stuff. So like we didn't really know where I was at. So this was kind of just like a benchmark. But yeah, I mean I felt fine. I felt great. I think maybe the paces were a little bit foreign to me, but no, I think that's a really good starting point.
Now, Lex, you alluded to this a little bit earlier, but you'll be competing this weekend in the 5K at New Balance Nationals. And, I have to know, like, what's the end goal there for you? Sub 14, national record, simply a win. Like, take us through that strategy going into this weekend.
Well, I think all of those are the goals really. It's like it's also in a sense just like a test of my fitness where I'm at because I was injured for a lot of December, like pretty much the entire month. So then I raced the qualifier at USA's after like only like a week of training. So for me, it's like how much training have I been able to recover? Because you never really know until you race. So my workouts have been good, but the goal is just to see how fast I can get it. I think I'm fit for at least 14 flat. I think getting the national record should definitely be in the cards. It's just a matter of how fast the race goes, who's in it, and who has it that last mile.
Yeah, well, we're definitely excited to see what you put together over this weekend. Now, both of you guys, you're less than 6 months away from graduating from Newbury Park, and you guys have accomplished so much. Some historical things have happened, especially at the national level. Leo, let me start with you. How are you planning on making the most of this last outdoor season that you have?
I mean, that's a good question. I feel like I haven't really explored all of my potential in track yet. For one reason or another, I've had different track seasons where like I've been out for sickness or injuries or this or that. So like I'm really hoping to have a pretty complete season this year. And with that, I think that like I just want to really commit myself to every race I'm in and make sure that like I'm exploring different events and races so then like I can walk away from high school knowing that I really put myself out there in this race or in that race and I can, walk away pretty satisfied.
Lex, how about for you?
I think it does really feel weird to be this close to graduating, but we have done so much. It's just about like that last little cherry on top. It's senior season, so we are the oldest guys out there, unless like there's other seniors, but like it's all about just any of those last little things that we couldn't get other years that we want to get. So like for me, I would love to try and run a fast outdoor 5K and maybe click off that 5K record that I was just off last year. Maybe I don't know if time will let it, but maybe an indoor 3K that would be pretty close considering I was less than like a tenth of a second away from Nico's record. But it's just like those little things that like you just want to shoot for in that last chance.
Interesting. So you might hold on after New Balance to maybe get one more opportunity in the 3K if it's there.
Yeah, I think it just depends on whether or not we can find a place to race it. Because for me, it's like I don't really see a reason why I can't just like intermingle indoor and outdoor. It's not like they're like two completely different things, like cross and track. It's just the track is just half the length. It's just if I'm training for like 5K or 2 mile, why not just go race a 3K all in the mix?
Yeah. Well, you guys I've never wanted to do things that are completely linear. Last year, you didn't compete in the CIF because that didn't really fit what your plan was. This year, the roadmap might look the same. It's atypical for most high schoolers, but for you, it's going to work. Can you talk to us a little bit about why you want to pursue maybe a different route outside the CIF, which is, a traditional plan for most high schoolers, and why that will make an impact for you, Leo?
Well, I think the thing is like for us CIF in California, there's a large number of rounds, which means like basically throughout like I think all of May and a lot of June, you're basically bogged down racing every week. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just that like in we'd be able to hit or we'd be able to race a lot more competition, and like we'd be able to go up against so many different athletes if we take the alternative route, which is like the invitationals at the time. And I think for us, like in thinking about like when we want to like race our best, it's better for us to not have to do like a race every single Saturday trying to make it through the rounds versus just training and getting fitter. So I think, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think if CIF was structured a little differently, like say they had, a list, like just the top 12, like say like indoor nationals for the NCAA where you just qualify based off of time, I think it would be different because then it's like, oh, if I've already run a fast time, like last year, my 2 mile PR was like 8:35. So instead of having to go every single week running like 8:55 or 9 flat just to make it there, which would, like Leo said, result in a lot of toll on your body, it would be, I think, better for the athletes and allow for faster performances if there is just a different qualifying method. Well, then you get your qualifying time and just show up on June whatever, and then you're really in peak fitness to run what would be a great state meet. Like maybe they have the top 6 qualify based off of time. So of the California top 6 fastest get to have an auto bid, and then maybe the other 10 spots you can earn by qualifying through like a normal method of qualifying. It's just an idea.
It seems logical enough. Yeah.
That's right. Now, looking at these last 4 years, it's really been charmed seasons for, you guys and your teammates at Newbury Park. But, all that success, it didn't just happen, to be where you're at, you had to train, exhaustively and put in the work. And Lex, I'll start with you, but, how rewarding has it been to see your work consistently pay off, with every new season?
It's extremely rewarding. I mean, that's one of the things that I think draws a lot of runners to the sport. It's such a like direct connection between the work you put in and what you get out. And there's obviously ups and downs. Injuries are rough. They hurt a lot of runners, and it's difficult to get through. But when you get some consistent training in there, you nail the hard workouts, and you get to see the benefit in a race and have a time that you're proud of. That's really, I think, why we all do it. It just feels, it's so rewarding. There's so much just pride in it. Mm-hmm.
Leo, any other thoughts?
That. No, I mean, he said that perfectly. It's just such the strong correlation between what you put in and what you get out.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I love about track and field. You put the effort in, you get to see it later down the road. So I have a two-part question here. The first part of it, we're huge fans of you guys. What is your favorite moment that you two have together as brothers, whether it's on the track or whether it's on the cross-country course? And Leo, I'll start with you.
I think just like the day-to-day routine of training together, and especially like making YouTube videos together, because like then we're documenting and capturing our experiences together, and then we edit that video up and we post it, and then it's like it's not just out there for everyone else to see, but also for us to look back on. And I think that that's a really cool thing. Often we'll look back and watch maybe a video from a year ago and just kind of reflect on the moments, and that's like a project that we created together, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, Lex, do you agree, or is there other moments that you can think of that you're like, I can remember this for a lifetime with my brother?
Well, I think specific to me and Leo, the YouTube channel is like as true as it gets, just because that is just Lex and Leo, and everything we make on our channel is just a collaboration between the two of us. And I can't imagine living without that.
Mm-hmm. Now, what special moments do you guys have that you guys can think of that you've had with Newbury Park as a team?
I would say like last season when it was all just like me, Leo, Colin, and Aaron just like coming through 1, 2, 3, 4 at like the state meet, at the invitationals, and then almost at nationals. Like those moments were very spectacular, and it's rare to see that. And I'll never forget those.
Mm-hmm. Now, just kind of on that same line with your YouTube channel, how have you guys worked toward building your voice and the audience around that channel as well?
I think that really it comes down to like a main focus being authenticity. Like we're trying to portray our running and our training and stuff as it is. Like if we're working really hard to train and to get faster, we're going to show that. We're not going to play it down and say, oh, I don't do anything, but I run fast. We're going to show them we work hard and show the results that it brings. So that's just a more authentic portrayal. And I think that same thing goes with like our mentalities going into races and stuff. We try to talk about what's going on, what's going through our minds, and just really give people kind of like, we want to try to give them like a window into like what goes on at Newbury Park and like how like the training works, how the culture is and stuff like that.
It's had an impact. I mean, when you go to races, people know who you are, and they come up to you, they try to talk to you. I mean, how have you sort of dealt with that sort of like insular fame in some capacity? Like, what's it been like for you two to kind of see that and deal with it?
I think it can definitely be like a little overwhelming at some points, but in general, I think it's just really good. It shows that what we're doing is having an impact. People relate, they connect to us, and I think it inspires a lot of people. I've heard a lot of amazing stories come out of it, and it's just like for people to be able to have others that they can watch online who show, kind of pave a path, kind of how Nico did for us, I think is really great, because then all of a sudden, these runners, they can watch what we're doing, they can emulate it, they can train hard and see that hard work can pay off. And yeah, at meets, there will be a lot of people coming up to talk to us, but we love talking to them, because it's like they support what we're doing. We want to support what they're doing. It creates a really good community of runners, I think.
Yeah, you've definitely kind of created this community and become almost these like larger than life figures yourself. But okay, now bring you guys down back to earth a little bit. MileSplit, we'd like to ask, our guests a lot what their favorite music tastes are. So I have to know, of you two, who do you think has the better music taste? And then maybe it's similar, I don't know, but like, who do you think has the best music taste of you two?
I mean, we did that like Spotify blended thing between the two of us, and I think we had something like a 98% match.
Oh, God.
So
Okay.
Wow.
the thing is like we drive to school with each other every single day. So like usually if one of us is like, dude, I found this awesome album, the other one's like, oh, awesome, I'll listen to it. Like we tend to enjoy similar music, but I think that there's not really one of us that has like better or different or better or worse music taste. It's just like kind of together we show each other different music tastes to kind of like bring each other up. Oh, the bell's going. Oh well, don't worry.
Does that mean you got to go, or are you good? Are you good?
No, it means Well, it means we don't have to be anywhere now.
No, I think it's like
Okay.
15 minutes.
All right.
15 minutes till the next class.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Since y'all don't have anywhere to go then we thought we'd end this interview kind of like in a little fun way. So there's this, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but there's kind of this popular trend on social media, like more of a TikTok trend, where you'll kind of have family members together in a room and like, you know, there's a sound or a narrator and it like asks like a question like, you know, this person is, you know, the most funny. And then you point to whoever you think is the most funny, whether it be yourself or, you know, the other person. So does that make sense? Like, well, I'll go through some, you know, rapid fire list of questions and you guys are going to do that. Does that work?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, let's get to it. So first, this person is the most competitive.
Yeah, probably both of us.
Oh, so
No, I think me.
you both think you're the most competitive. Okay.
I don't think Lex is
That's
more
perfect.
competitive.
We're competing over who's the most competitive.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
All right, this person is more serious. Okay, so Leo, more serious. Okay, got that one.
Yeah. You gotta make sure your finger can be seen.
All right, this person is always early to practice.
I'm not always early.
You always want to be.
Yeah. That's because
So
you're
you're
always
you're the tryhard that's always going to get there early to practice. Okay, I see. Now, this person has the strongest kick.
That's
We
not
can't
stronger
see
than
your
mine.
finger, Leo.
Oh.
I don't know if you're pointing.
I don't think it's
Well, I think it's just out of the two of us, though. That's
Okay,
the whole point.
okay.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I mean, you just ran like the 5th fastest all time, 1500, so I get that
Yeah.
one there.
Yeah.
All right. Which of y'all is the most creative? Okay. So, Lex, you're kind of running the YouTube creative side of things. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is definitely a Corey question here. This person here has the best movie knowledge. Which of y'all is like the movie buff?
We both
I
love
think
movies.
you
but-
probably research it more.
Really? I was gonna say you would, but
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I think you know more about the movie we're watching.
Oh yeah, I always like to research what we're watching.
Now, this person spends more time on their hair in the morning. Lex,
Easy.
what's the hair routine?
The treatment.
yeah,
Yeah.
what is it? What do you do?
My routine. People get mad when I say this, but I don't do anything. I don't put anything in it. I just wake up and I just sometimes I'll comb it. Usually I just go like this a couple times and then
No, but he goes into the school bathrooms during the break, splashes some water on his hands, and then starts doing his hair. He looks like
Perpetual-
Yeah, but I don't put it
perpetually
on.
slick. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Lex, just
Okay.
naturally good hair. All right. Now well, I guess we already answered this one. You both think you have pretty similar music taste. Then we'll get into the last question here. This person is the most studious.
I think I am.
Well, you probably study more, but that doesn't mean you're smarter or get better grades.
Yeah.
They're not correlated.
That wasn't the
No,
question. Yeah.
No. Well, all right,
That was
guys.
the question.
Okay.
Well, thanks for doing that with us. That kind of little fun segment there to end it. Thanks again, Lex and Leo Young, for being here with us today. We really appreciate it, and best of luck with the rest of your outdoor season.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Y'all can log off after that. Thanks.
All right, so now that was a